Culinary Skills Week, as Robbie mentioned, there's really no end, or the only end to what we can do with fruits and vegetables is our own creativity, the own limits we put upon it. Because I've seen just about everything come out of these kitchens at this point. And I mean, burritos, uh, hard shell tacos, as you saw before, cinnamon rolls, and Culinary Skills Week gives you the basis to create those fantastic creations. You have to first understand the principles, and then it allows you to create just seemingly endless variety of dishes. For me personally, and for many people who enter the 80-10-10 diet, coming up, for instance, with salad dressings is something that people struggle with. And now it seems silly looking in hindsight because having attended Culinary Skills Week and these retreats and working with Dr. Graham, I now confidently can say I know over 1 million salad dressings that I could make and be very satisfied with and enjoy. So, and that's just salad dressings. That's not desserts and slaws and smoothies and all the other options that are available within the 8-10-10 cuisine. So Culinary Skills Week, whether you're a beginner and you want to know how to recreate your favorites or create new favorites, or whether you're an experienced chef in the cooked food world and want to get the 80-10-10 low-fat, raw vegan cuisine under your belt, or maybe you want to take it off into some professional field, the quality of education and the quality of information that is delivered at Culinary Skills Week by a world-class chef, Alicia Ojeda, and the author of the 8-10-10 program himself, Dr. Graham, is second to none and will serve you no matter where you use it, in your own kitchen or in the kitchen of hundreds of guests.
Well, that's really kind, Kevin. I've been showing a few slides of what the facility itself looks like. Culinary Skills Week started about a decade ago as people expressed interest in creating food that would lure their friends and family into the 80-10-10 lifestyle. 80-10-10 book had come out. There's lots of people starting to eat 80-10-10. They were very happy with the food, but just didn't really know how to make things. And what were even further considerations, how to make things on time, how to make things that were in season, how to use ingredients from 80-10-10 to make more what we would consider traditional fare or ethnic fare. How do you make a raw lasagna? How do you make a raw pizza? How do you make a raw whatever it might have been, from chili to apple pie? And so we started with culinary skills simply to show people that the considerations are a little bit different on 80-10-10 than they are for people in a more classic kitchen. For instance, if you open up a can of tomato paste for you and your wife and you want to make some sauce, well, you just open up the can and pour it out. And if you have 20 people coming over for the same dinner, you just open up a bigger can. But on 80-10-10, we start with whole, fresh, ripe, raw, organic ingredients. If you're going to chop a couple of tomatoes for 2 people, you're going to chop 20 tomatoes for 20 people. And the time consideration has to be part of the equation. How much time does it take you to prepare something? If you've got 10 people coming over for dinner at 6, you don't really want to serve the first course at 10 o'clock at night. You want to have it ready on time and learning how to prepare. If you've got 20 people coming over for dinner, or 4, they're coming for business dinner, and you go, I'm so sorry. None of my ingredients ripened in time. Well, this is a consideration that isn't going to really go over well. They're not going to wait 4 days until your food ripens before you can serve your meal. And so you have to learn when to order the food in order to allow for proper ripening, and then how to store the food in order to make sure that it does ripen properly. We learn all of the basic kitchen skills so that the mechanics in the kitchen are correct. We don't want people getting sick off our food. We don't want people finding hair in their food. We don't want all the basic considerations of cleanliness certainly still apply. And we go through all those mechanics of knife skills and how do the different tools work? What are they for? How can you use them to your best advantage? How do you set up a production line in your own kitchen? Even if you're just one person working, which things should you do first and which things do last, and why? Why would you make one item before another or start one job before another, depending on how long they're going to take? So we have classically trained chef Alicia Ojeda, who's here on the left of this photo, showing the group. And all three of the individuals in this photo with Chef Alicia have gone on to serve as chefs at various raw food events, which is kind of cool. None of them initially intended to do that. So far in the decade of running Culinary Skills Week, we've only had one professional chef come to attend the event, but we've had lots of people who make food, lots of people who do food demos, lots of people who have families and wanted to impress them. We've had several people come who never ever expected anything other than being able to make better food for themselves, who then found themselves in situations where they were invited to make food for others after attending Culinary Skills Week. I guess that's one of those, once you get yourself properly prepared, the opportunity will arrive situations. So we split our time between classroom, workshop, and in the kitchen itself, so that you get lots of hands-on, lots of theory, lots of practical, and learn the different considerations that are involved in making culinary skills unique to 80-10-10, a successful experience for you. Nobody wants their kitchen overwhelmed with fruit flies. Nobody wants their kitchen to be anything other than the cleanest place in their entire house. Nobody wants their food to taste good but look bad, or to look great but taste bad. We don't want food that people can't eat, or food that doesn't leave them satisfied. We want to make sure we've served enough calories. We want to make food, if we're making food for mainstream guests, what are the special considerations that you can use within 80-10-10 to make sure that they're going to be able to eat enough food so that by the time they go home, they don't want to stop for some fast food on their way home? We want people to be satiated, happy with their meal, certainly don't want to give them indigestion. A lot of considerations. It's a full week. Culinary Skills Week is a full week because kitchen duty is always a full-time job. We know how to make things really quickly, cut a watermelon in half and serve the two halves to two people. But if you want to make something that is a demonstration of your love for the people coming to eat the food, There's going to be some time involved in prep. We show you how to minimize the time. We teach you all the tricks of the trade, while at the same time making you aware of how to make it beautiful, what gives the appropriate mouth feel, taste sensations, which herbs, which textures go with each other and which ones don't. Learning the no-nos are probably just as important as learning all the yeses. Certainly, ambiance is as important a consideration as the special requests of your guests. Can you imagine putting an ingredient into something, serving it to someone, and then finding out that they're allergic to it? So there's a lot of to consider that goes into the making of Culinary Skills Week, and we're finding that the results, what comes out of the kitchen, is just amazing. That a lot of people come into the kitchen thinking they don't really have much in terms of artistic flair or culinary skill, and then when we give them a chance, once we've got them past the basics and they now understand what they're working with, they can make some pretty darn finger-licking good food. So Kevin, you've been to Culinary Skills Week. What was your impression?
As I mentioned, my impression was I would give it a 5-star rating. And my impression of, as you mentioned, Alicia's ability to pass on what she has learned over her, 20 years of professional experience working at such large companies like Sony and, I mean, just huge, huge masses of people that she has delivered food to. So she really has an understanding of how to be efficient in the kitchen and how to be efficient yet still provide what seems to be a complex or very flavorful meal, which for many people who are in situations like myself, if you've got children or you're in a family situation, that's nice to be efficient. It's nice to learn how to do things in a manner that looks nice, tastes great, but still takes the lowest amount of time and effort. So I really appreciated having that wealth of knowledge there. And then, quite honestly, having you there, you've got 30 years of 80-10-10 experience, which is also invaluable in the kitchen because that's what the diet's based around. So you've got certain nuances and some of the things you shared as far as combinations of various spices with certain fruits have been invaluable to my taste buds and to my family's taste buds. So not I can't I'm trying to find the exact words to articulate it, but really there's nothing to replace being in the immersive space of this kitchen because that's where you can actually have your questions immediately addressed as they come up into your head, as you're seeing the various foods combined in front of you, as you're able to taste. It's very, I mean, it's an experiential event, quite honestly, to work with the food, to see how the food is stored, see how it's prepared, and see how it's served. I mean, it's just you got to be there. You really got to be there if you want to master.
You really
If you
got
want
to
to
be there.
master.
I think people don't appreciate what goes on at Culinary Skills Week until they're there. Uh, the opportunities to work solo and to work in small groups, to plan in those different sizes, to lead a group, to be in charge of a kitchen, or to be part of the team that fully runs a kitchen, to see what goes on in order to sit down and feed 20 or 30 people day in and day out, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, from ordering food to receiving food, storing food, maintaining it daily, what we call our quality control every day, prep of food, serving food, even the tricks for quick, efficient cleanup, right on down to what happens to that food. We compost everything. We're serving 100% fresh, organic ingredients. that, for the most part, are locally grown. We have several different farmers growing us a variety of crops, from melons to vegetables, and they grow them based on our order that we placed last year for this year. We're also this year have added a new service. We're growing food on premises, on site. We're growing food that at this very moment I've been seeing pictures of what's coming out, but a lot of our food is going to be picked daily from the premises. It's an exciting addition to what's been there before, and a lot of the foods that we used to have to purchase will now be able to just go out to the greenhouse and pick our own, which is just a spectacular treat because everybody knows homegrown provides the best taste and quality. So I'm excited for this year's food, but I'm equally as excited for the discussions, for the workshops, and of course, I always enjoy giving the educational presentations that touch on the different considerations of what makes culinary skills in 80-10-10 so very special. We see on some of the social media, we see people putting pictures almost every single day. I'm seeing photos of people like Chris Kendall, um, Giovanna Mendoza, uh, Christina Carrillo. All of these people are graduates of our Culinary Skills Week. Yes, they have their own talents, but they've also been there, learned what they needed to learn so that they can, and they're putting out spectacular food every single day, food that's worthy of a photograph every single day. A tremendous amount of that skill came from Culinary Skills Week, and they attribute it to such. Many other people have been through there. As you say, the head chef at, actually, I think in the last 3 or 4 years, the head chef at every raw food event in the world has been a graduate of Culinary Skills Week. I say that and I just have to think twice, but I don't think there's been an exception now for the last 2 or 3 years. The head chef has been a Culinary Skills Week graduate, which says a lot. I know you might not be a professional chef or have any aspiration to be a professional chef, but if you're interested in making food that will wow your family, if you want to make food that is as beautiful as it is delicious, as it is nutritious, if you're interested in bringing your chef skills up by many notches, 80-10-10 Culinary Skills Week is definitely the event to attend. This is where you're going to learn the skills. This is where you're going to find out the missing links of what it is that makes your kitchen experience a lot more fun for you, a lot more pleasant, a lot more efficient, effective, so that you know how much time to allow, that you can present exactly what you wish to present and still have it come out tasting or just the treat. We encourage people to come to Culinary Skills Week. It's our longest event of the year, or our longest retreat of the year at Cedro Woolley. This is a full 7-day, 8-night event. We encourage you to reserve your spot because spaces are extremely limited. And if you do so before July 22nd, we are offering you a lot of special gifts, making it a no-brainer to attend Culinary Skills Week. We're offering you more than $800 worth of product, swag as it were, from a carrier bag, go to health, to our whole fresh ripe raw organic plants t-shirt, one of our favorite designs, even your own food and sport mug, and through Healthful Living International, a dozen of the world's leaders in healthful living giving their best presentations, to our own raw nutritional science presentation, many books, other audio and video materials, more than $800 worth of value. If you just register for Culinary Skills Week by the 22nd, you have more than a week. Think about it. If you have questions, feel free to contact us. If you're interested and still not sure, you can reach us at Food and Sport and ask any questions you like. You can come to our forum and discuss the events. We're happy to discuss it with you. We even offer payment plans for Culinary Skills Week as follows. Kevin, I'm going to ask you for any parting shots.
My parting shots or parting words would be, I hope to see you there in St. Joe Woolley. Whether you choose any of the 3 retreats we talked about in this episode of Retreat TV, Culinary Skills Week, Conquering Diabetes, or Health and Fitness Week, there was a question asked in the chat box earlier, which retreat is best for beginners? Quite honestly, whichever one you attend. They're all set up to meet the needs of whoever happens to show up. And as Dr. Graham has mentioned, there's enough staff on hand that we can help you wherever you happen to be on your health journey and help you reach the goals you're trying to reach.
Well, that's a good question about beginners.
Sure.
I have 2 parts to that answer. I would say my first answer would be Health and Fitness Week right off the bat. I just go Health and Fitness Week because it's the most well-rounded in terms of the focus of the event. I mean, all of the other retreats have a specific focus, whether it's culinary skills or diabetes or Goddess Week. Every event has its own unique focus. So my first answer would be Health and Fitness Week. But my second answer would be, it depends. It depends, what is it that you're hoping to find out? We have an event designed for different purposes based on what you want to find out. You know, if you want to find out more about the emotional aspects of eating and how to get your eating under control, well then Banana Island Retreat is the one for you. If you're a woman who really wants to finally blossom into your own on 80-10-10, our Goddess Retreat has got to be the one. If you want to learn the rudiments of fitness, or you're fit and you want to get fitter, you want to finally become the athlete that you've always dreamed of being, you want to learn what makes for optimum sports mechanics and movement mechanics while at the same time getting the most sports nutrition information you can find, Health and Fitness Week. You want to wow your friends with food, you want to prepare food for your family effortlessly, quickly, being able to make the special things that you just lure them into eating 80-10-10 with you all the time. Well, Culinary Skills Week is the no-brainer choice. I think a lot of people are surprised when they come for a week to find that they stay for 2 or 3 or 4 weeks more, simply because they're having such a good time, because they're getting so much in return in exchange for so little. And all we're asking you is to give us a chance. Come to a food and sport retreat this year, and you will not be disappointed. If you're brand new and want to learn the very basics, how to make 80-10-10 work, well then, come to our beginners food and lifestyle program. But anyway, along the way, the answer, as I say, is it depends. What's best for you is going to be dependent upon what it is you're hoping to find out. We have a program for you. We're there to serve you, and we're there to make life better for you, helping you reach your health goals. Kevin, I want to thank you very much for your help in running our Retreat TV webinar. I know a lot of people tune in. They want to find out more. I remind you that if you register by the 22nd of July, you still have time. We're not pushing you over the edge tonight, but if you register by the 22nd of July, you can receive an $800 value in free gifts. We have lowered the prices of almost every retreat this year, and so we are offering rock bottom prices for absolute top of the level in terms of care, attention, comfort, food quality. I don't think you'll find anything anywhere that's quite like a food and sport retreat.